country and beyond. Remember, you can talk to us on Twitter at KUTV_Kenya. You can also talk to us via our YouTube channel, where this live broadcast is also streaming, and that is KUTV News Kenya. That is on YouTube. Be sure to talk to us as we talk to you, so we can have a conversation that will lead us to understanding different issues that are affecting our country and beyond our borders. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Sami Okello. He'll be with me to the very end, and thank you so much for joining us. Let's get straight into the bulletin now. A section of Muslim faithfuls and members of the Luo community in Mombasa held a special prayers for Kenya's African Union chairperson candidate Raila Odinga in his bid to become the next chairperson of the African Union Commission, with barely hours to the elections. In Addis Ababa, Raila's supporters say they have prayed for him to beat his two opponents, Mahmoud Yusuf and Richard Mandrato, in the elections set to take place tomorrow, 15th of February. During the prayers, Odinga's supporters said they will hold night vigil prayers until the conclusion of the election and Odinga is declared the winner. Kenyans were encouraged to avoid sectarian practices ahead of the election.
It is on this basis that we are perfectly convinced that Honorable Raila is the best qualified candidate among the three candidates. We urge everyone of us to be proud Kenyan and have faith in their fellow Kenyans and avoid sectarian practice as we approach the final laps of AU election.
Pana nimefurahi sana nikiona wandugu zetu Waislamu, hasa my young brothers pia wameona siku ya leo waje waungane na wazee wa Kiislamu watoe dua kwa Mheshimiwa Raila ili akienda kule Afrika apate ushindi na ashinde, awe kiongozi sio ya Kenya peke yake lakini ni Afrika, kwa sababu tunajua hasa wakati huu kuna matatizo sana hapa kwa mainchi ya Afrika. Tunajua ya kwamba ni Mheshimiwa Raila Amolo Odinga ndio katika hawa wamesimama, wote tunawaheshimu, lakini tunajua ni Mheshimiwa Raila Amolo Odinga ndio anaweza kutatua matatizo ya Afrika wakati huu.
Now, the push for financial independence in Africa is gaining momentum, with President William Ruto calling for urgent reforms in the global credit rating system. Speaking at the 38th Ordinary African Union Assembly in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, the head of state criticized the current rating models, saying they unfairly disadvantage African nations by inflating risk perceptions and increasing borrowing costs, leading to significant losses.
During the third Ordinary African Union Assembly in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, President William Ruto has renewed his call for urgent reforms in the global credit rating system, stating that it is currently biased against African nations. Speaking during the presidential breakfast earlier today in Addis Ababa, President William Ruto described the current system as flawed and responsible for exaggerated risk assessments that led to higher borrowing costs for African countries. He revealed that these distortions have cost the continent 9.6 trillion shillings in lost investment opportunities.
Africa's economic potential is hamstrung by a financial system that misrepresents, distorts, and understates our reality. Global credit rating agencies have not only dealt a bad hand, they have also deliberately failed Africa.
According to Ruto, reforms in the system could unlock up to 2 trillion shillings in additional funding, enabling African nations to attract more investments and strengthen financial independence.
We must be bold and call this for what it is: a financial straitjacket imposed on Africa. A system that punishes our economies while rewarding others, even when the fundamentals are comparable, in some cases even better.
Additionally, Ruto urged African leaders to hold rating agencies accountable and push for an objective, transparent, and replicable system.
The foundations of global finance are supposed to be anchored on principles of fairness, transparency, and merit.
Africa is rising, and it is time for us to reclaim ownership of our financial destiny. The establishment of the Africa Credit Rating Agency is a bold...
All right, sorry for that mishap. We shall be bringing that story packaged in a better way. And of course, moving forward, we are looking at a story about Ogiek community now, where I hear that we need to move to an AI story, where now a non-profit organization is testing a smartphone app to help farmers identify disease and pests in their crops in Western Kenya. Experts suggest this model, if successful in trial areas, could offer hope for smallholder farmers across the continent. Rachel Graham of Reuters has more.
Kaka mtazamaji popote ulipo, unapokuwa ukitazama Safina Show
inang'oananga sasa hivi. Ungana nami Albanas Mwania, nahodha wa Safina Show, nikutoe ng'ambo ya pili hadi ufuoni. Safina Show, sauti ya matumaini.
Bajuka ni kama unarusha mamikono, tingisha kichwa chuko sivute kisogo. Mbona nyinyi na wawasha nkikula nyama choma tu firifiri na give me your hand and shoulder. I'm feeling vibes on vibes. I'm a ticking giant. Tell them twerking. Pull up the lambas swerving. I work so hard, you know I don't want no stress. I don't get time to impress. Call that girl with a lovely dress. Yeah, yeah.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audiovisual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
access to knowledge, solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more, only on Law Matters.
You are watching Weekend Live with Mutegi K. Martin. Welcome back, and it's glad to have you back. Now, in another news is that EcoPrints Generation, a Kenyan tech company, is using plastic waste to print 3D models that are enhancing the learning experience for college students while addressing pollution in the East African nation. We shall be having that story much later, but let's go back to a story that we had hinted before. Now, a non-profit organization is testing a smartphone app to help farmers identify disease and pests in their crops in Western Kenya. Experts suggest this model, if successful in trial areas, could offer hope for smallholder farmers across the continent. Rachel Graham of Reuters has more.
Please show me the first leaf that does not look healthy.
The creators of this smartphone app say it uses artificial intelligence to provide an instant diagnosis for crop diseases and pests. It was developed by non-profit organisation Plant Village to offer real-time solutions to crop health issues. It's a boon for Kenyan smallholders like Rosalina Kochi, who has long struggled to identify the problems with her plants.
This phone app has made my work so easy. I don't have to go far or look for someone for advice or use any transport money. It's just me in the farm and my phone.
Akochi has been using the app since 2018 and says the difference in her yields has been vast.
You cannot compare the difference. Before, an acre would produce only 5 bags of cassava. Most were wilted or diseased, but using the modern technology that I have been using, 1 acre can now produce 200 or 250 bags.
Smallholder farmers like Akochi typically work on less than 2-acre farms and produce 80% of food consumed in Africa. The technology also provides resources on sourcing quality seeds, land preparation methods, and access to agricultural specialists. Lawrence Ombweo works for Plant Village, training farmers and testing the AI application in Busia, an area identified as food insecure.
49% of the AIs being deployed in Africa are based on agriculture. And the reason why we are focusing on agriculture is because of the increased population and also the challenges that are being brought by climate change.
Experts say Africa requires an annual investment of $77 billion to enhance farming practices, boost yields, and improve agricultural supply chains to address food insecurity. Researchers across Africa are exploring various solutions, including introducing resilient crops in climate-affected areas and leveraging technology. But many believe AI has great potential due to its accessibility, customization, and affordability. However, barriers to technology adoption, such as lack of smartphone access, persist.
On the 14th day of February, the world is painted red with love filling the air as people celebrate Valentine's Day. However, in Makongeni, Thika town, the usual pomp and glamour seemed to take a back seat. Unlike last year when the streets buzzed with affection, this time things looked a little bit different. And as Ochieng Cynthia reports, Makongeni residents attributed the difference to tough economic times.
It was business as usual in Makongeni, Kiambu County, as business people proceeded with their daily routine, with few indications that they had a hint of what this special day means.
Siku hii ya leo sioni kama ina maana, kwa sababu ningekuwa iko na maana ningekuwa labda na wauzaji wengi, labda ningekuwa naona watu wakitembea labda na maua. Kwa hivyo siku ya leo sioni kama iko na maana sana muhimu kama Kenya.
Makongeni residents expressed their frustrations, pointing fingers at the government for the tough economic times and high cost of living.
Muhimu ya mapenzi kwa leo wa Kenya wengi wanaumika sana juu hakuna pesa. Uchumi uko juu, lakini tunauliza serikali jaribu kupunguza, hadi kama ni mafuta ya taa chochote punguze tu, watu wote wawe na amani. Juu hiyo ndio inaumiza wa Kenya.
Contrary to the general economic challenges stated by residents, Elizabeth Kyo, a florist, described the day as successful thanks to a flock of customers who sought for her products.
Siku ya leo ni siku ya wanaopenda nao. Tunashukuru Mungu, hakika tunapata unga. Watoto hawakosi cha kukula, pia pale shule watafukuzwa. Kwa hivyo tunashukuru Mungu kwa vile hii Valentine ya mwaka huu ni mambo yote kuliko ya miaka zingine.
Raymond Makumi Kiru and Ann Ngendo, who marked 30 years of marriage by tying knot on Valentine's Day, emphasized on the importance of love, trust, commitment, and friendship in lasting relationship. They also advised young people to take their time to understand their partners and avoid rushing into decisions. Makumi also dismissed claims that Kenyan men are not romantic, calling them inaccurate.
Wanaume wako romantic. Mimi mwenyewe naweza toa ushuhuda niseme ya kwamba mimi ni romantic. Ndio maana nikasema ya kwamba ndoa yetu itafanyika siku ya Valentine, kuonyesha upendo ambao niko nao katika kwa bibi yangu. Ile kitu imekuwa tuleta pamoja katika familia ni kwamba ni upendo ambao tuko nao katika kila mmoja wetu na kumucha Mungu.
And in Embu County, well-wishers from Embu Town loaded with gifts joined Jomo Kenyatta Children's Home for the Valentine's celebration. The children, who are able differently, could not hide their joy as they engaged in song, cake cutting, and blowing red balloons to celebrate this year's Valentine's.
And today we came to show them some love. We brought them some goodies so that now they remain children who are very, very happy. Today they are very happy. We brought them goodies, food, biscuits, soda, and of course now they are very, very happy.
Despite the tough economic times, a section of Kenyans, however, stepped out to express and celebrate this special day. Ochieng Cynthia, KUTV.
Now, with just a few hours remaining before the official African Union Commission AUC chairmanship election, a section of leaders and Kenyans alike have wished Kenya's candidate Raila Odinga success in the upcoming elections set for tomorrow. Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua termed Odinga as Kenya's finest and the best bet for the African Union Commission chairmanship, highlighting that Africa deserves the best.
At the race to the African Union Commission chairmanship for the candidates Raila Odinga of Kenya, Richard Randriamandrato of Madagascar, and Mahamoud Ali Yusuf of Djibouti draws to an end, with official elections set to kick off on Saturday. A section of leaders and Kenyans alike have taken to their social media handles to wish Raila Odinga all the best in the position. Despite having had a notable rift with Raila Odinga in the country's political space earlier, the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua today led in wishing Raila success, terming him as Kenya's finest, who is undoubtedly the best bet for the African Union Commission chairmanship. Gachagua further highlighted, as I quote, "As a continent, we need a Raila Odinga character to gel the Anglophone and the Francophone selves towards the continent of the future. His win in Addis Ababa imprints his quest for his Pan-African spirit he has lived and championed. Raila Odinga's win will be good and progressive for Africa. With his victory will be a win for Kenya, our motherland." On his part, Kalonzo Musyoka lauded Raila's vision for the African continent, saying that it resonates with Africans on the continent and globally, and that the commitments in his manifesto have the capacity to make Africa realize its vast and untapped potential. According to Kalonzo, and I quote, "Raila's commitment to fast-tracking the implementation of the Continental Infrastructure Master Plan, which was developed under his leadership as the African Union Commission's High Representative for Infrastructure Development, will create the needed African connectivity, ease access, build solidarity, and increase intra-African trade. The intervention will also give impetus to the energy, finance, and related sectors. Additionally, Kalonzo lauded Raila's commitment to restoring the dignity of the continent and its people, saying that it will bring hope and honor to all Africans on the continent and in the diaspora. At the same time, Kirinyaga County Governor Anne Waiguru said that his leadership, dedication to Pan-Africanism, and commitment to regional integration have left a lasting impact, as she expressed her confidence in Raila's experience to drive the continent's development forward. Tomorrow's voting will continue until one of the candidates gets 2/3 majority of the required votes. James Baraka for KUTV.
Thank you, James Baraka, for that report. We shall be continuing to inform you on those particular happenings here on KUTV Any Experience. Now, moving on, the Ogiek community in Sasimwani, Narok County has said that it will be filing a case at the East African Court of Justice in Arusha, accusing the government for evicting them from their ancestral land in Masai Mara Forest, despite an earlier ruling barring their eviction. A year after their eviction, they argue they have no other place to call home and are struggling to strive under dire conditions.
The Ogiek community in Sasimwani, Narok North Sub-County is making a desperate plea to the government to allow them back into their ancestral land in Masai Mara Forest. In November 2023, over 700 Ogiek families were evicted from the forest by security forces led by Rift Valley Regional Commissioner Dr. Abdi Hassan, citing illegal farming.
Sijui kama mnataka tukufe mkuje mchimbe makaburi ndio mfurahi ama mnangoja nini? If at all mnasikia bado mko na utu kidogo, then it's high time mufike pale. Tunahitaji chakula, watoto wanahitaji kwenda shule, lakini hamuonekani. Na ikifika wakati wa kura, siku hiyo mnatujua mpaka kwa majina. Wengine wetu tulisimamia hizo kura zenu, tulikuwa tunarudi kwa nyumba saa 9 na tu kujua hii ndio malipo. Hakika tungejua hiyo kura mungeipata.
The government on its end justified the eviction as an environmental conservation effort. However, the Ogiek insist they have a rightful claim to the land as their forefathers lived there for generations as hunters and gatherers. Community elder Mzee Wilson Memusi lamented that since their eviction, they have been unable to afford rent and their children are missing school due to financial struggles.
Na watoto wetu wanakuwa shokora huko dukani. Na wamama wamewachana na wasee kwa sababu ya shida. Hiyo ni shida gani ambayo tunaletewa? Na sisi ni Wakenya asili. Wakenya asili ambayo wala ambao walianza Kenya kupata uhuru walipata tukiwa ndani ya hiyo misitu. Ni nani huyu mwingine mwenye msitu hiyo sipokuwa jamii ya Ogiek? Kwa hivyo hiyo tumekasirika sasa kuanzia saa hii. Tunataka tuelezewe ni nani alitutoa kwa sababu serikali wamejiondoa.
Mzee Francis Maritim, a member of the National Ogiek Council, expressed frustration over the community's lack of political representation, stating that they have no leaders in parliament to fight for their rights. He, however, says the Ogiek Council has been assessing the plight of their people across 6 counties, including Narok, Kericho, and Nakuru.
Sisi ndio viongozi, hatuna viongozi wengine. Kuwa kama MPs ndio inatoka kwa jamii ya Council of Elders. Kwa hivyo ile cheo yenye tuko naye sasa ni kama huyu mwenzetu wako na cheo ya Reverend. Ndio cheo yenye tuko naye. Sisi hata kupata mzee wa mitaa is a problem.
Determined to reclaim their land, the community, on top of asking Narok County Commissioner Kipkech Lotiatia to intervene, is preparing to file a case at the East African Court of Justice in Arusha, arguing their eviction violated past rulings.
Tumekuwa na petition kali sana. Sisi tumejitokeza wafanye vile watafanya. Mtu ile tunamlaumu zaidi sana ni former CS wa misitu ambaye ni Saiban Tuya, ambaye alifurusha Ogiek kwa njia ya ukabila. Sababu tuseme hivyo, tulienda kotini kule. Na serikali State Council ikasema ya kwamba sisi hatukufurusha, ilikuwa Saiban Tuya ndio alifurusha. And he was a CS of Ministry of Environment. Kufuatia namba ya pili ikawa ni director wa misitu ambaye anaitwa Lemarkoko. Huyo ndio the worst, ambaye sasa tabu ile tunapata katika Mao Complex nijua Lemarkoko ametukanyagia kufa na kupona.
As the Ogiek community vows to fight on, their case highlights the tension between indigenous land rights and conservation efforts, with their future now dependent on legal and government intervention. Theo Masharia for KUTV.
It is 20 minutes past 9 p.m. Time for us to take another short break right here on KUTV Primetime News. When we come back, we come loaded with sports news.
So my name is Jakub Petri. I'm Associate Professor in the Institute of Philosophy of Jagiellonian University in Krakow, Poland. And I'm the main coordinator of the Cafe project, which is being here hosted by Kenyatta University.
My name is Eva Hudoba. I am a project manager in this consortium. Keep watching cutting-edge research at Kenyatta University Television.
Access to knowledge, solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
Welcome back. You're still watching KTV Primetime News. Every time it's a beautiful time for sports. Now, beach soccer players from Malindi sub-county in Kilifi County departed to Uganda, I beg your pardon, to Uganda ahead of their friendly matches as they prepare for the African Nation Championship, also known as CHAN tournament, that will be held in Kenya later this year. The beach soccer team manager Billy Mwangemi is optimistic that the friendly matches, which serves as a precursor, will give his players the much-needed skills to experience the needed break through the ranks to the national beach soccer team ahead of the championship. The team is also appealing to the government to chip in and construct 2 more beach soccer arenas to host international matches.
20 players na hatujafikiria hapa, bado tunafikiria future, na hii team tuna matumaini tutafika nayo mbali kwa sababu tuko na uwanja ambao tumetengenezewa wa international ground ya bisoka hapa Malindi. So tuna imani in the future tutakuwa na timu ya kuwakilisha Kenya ndani ya Malindi. Kuna vijana wengi wametoka hapa ndani ya Malindi wamecheza national team. So wameenda Uganda, wameenda Tanzania, Tunisia, vile Kevad kwa mpira huu wa bisoka kutoka kwa national team. Yeah.
Wataalamu wamekuja, wametrain vijana. That's why unapata we were new in the game, but we are the best in East Africa. Hapa wamekuja TZ, Zanzibar, Uganda ambao walianza mapema na hii historia beach soccer, lakini hawatuwezi because the young ones they always play at the beach. They know the sand. Mchanga wenyewe wanazungumza nao. Kwa hivyo we have the best players.
All right, moving forward, New York City Marathon Sheila Chepkirui will take part in this year's Nagoya Marathon slated for March 9th, 2025 in Japan. Chepkirui will be hitting the road for her first marathon since clinching her first major marathon win after winning the New York Marathon last November. Kenya's sensational marathoner will line up against 2019 Tokyo Marathon champion Ruti Aga of Ethiopia and 2023 Asian Games champion and last year's runners-up in Nagoya Eunice Chebichi Chumba of Bahrain, among others. We've come to the close of the conversation, that is KUTV Primetime News tonight, this 14th of February 2025. And I'm reminded of a saying that goes that goes like this: opportunity knocks only once. Since a long time ago, I have disagreed with this particular saying because I think opportunity knocks more than once, and opportunity keeps on knocking. Maybe not the same door, but different doors. So every time you walk into a place, look for that opportunity that is knocking at the door and open the door, interact with that opportunity and make the best out of it. And here at KUTV, we have many opportunities, even for you as our viewer, to help us and partner with us in our many programs that suit you and suit your viewership. Therefore, stay tuned to KUTV and your experience, as you said, to enjoy educative programs, informative programs, entertaining programs, even as the weekend comes along. Now, that's it for today, and a special shout out to everyone who has made this particular bulletin possible. Many reporters who have been up and about, interacting with different people and stories to make sure that you're informed, and been able to package this courtesy of our producer tonight, who is Theo Masharia. And without forgetting our head of news, Caroline Kimwele, who is very instrumental at this particular time. And without forgetting my director, Boniface Odhiambo. He goes by many names. I call him Odenyo sometimes, and he's a Chelsea fan. And without forgetting the main man tonight, who's been using his hands to communicate to a very important section of our nation, Sami Okello. And my name is Mutegi K. Martin. And until next time, good night. God bless.